Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Revanchist. I sincerely hope that the sound quality of this video is at the very least marginally better than the previous video. At any rate, I will be showcasing the basic features of Loadout, which you can find on Steam. It is a game that is an arena shooter, much in the same vein as Team Fortress. And it is quite amusing to me, both in terms of gameplay and sheer comedic value. Its over-the-top violence and gratuity is very amusing. So without further ado, I will begin showing you the basic features of the game. To start off with, you have casual matches and competitive. I have not yet done the competitive since they patched it back in, so I cannot comment on that. However, for the casual match types, you can choose to play against other players, or you can team up with other players to play against bots. Now, you can, it's up to you to decide how you feel about bots in a shooter. I don't think they're all that terrible in this game. They're relatively intelligent sometimes. In any event, the casual matches have a few basic matches at the moment. They have capture the flag, or really capture the hammer, since it's a hammer. It is called jackhammer. Kind of a little pun there. You also have Death Snatch, which is essentially a team deathmatch mode where you snatch the little health vials off of defeated opponents. You can also take the health vials of your fallen allies and deny your enemies a kill. Keep in mind your enemies could do the same thing with their friends. There is also a Blitz game type, which is essentially a territory capture map game type. You rush a flag, kill enemies around it until you capture the point, and then move on to the next one. The game is currently limited in its game and map types, but I'm going to assume that will be addressed eventually, but we shall see. In any event, we will move on to the weapon crafting system, which is fairly extensive. You can customize your guns in a great number of ways. You can choose different stocks to have. Standard stock, a dampening stock, an aluminum stock, shock absorbing and impact stocks. You have multiple trigger types, multiple scope types, iron sights, recon scopes, an optical scope, an optical zoom, and a bioscanner, which shows the health of allies and enemies. Different magazine types: standard, high capacity, shell loading, and bolt action. And then you have different barrel types. You have assault, you have light assault, you have a Gatling barrel, you have a scatter, which is essentially a kind of like a shotgun barrel. You have a sniper, you have a wide scatter, a silencer, headhunter, and narrow scatter. And then of course you have the different ammunition types. You have basic slugs. This is the default ammunition type for every gun. You also have the Tesla. It has lightning damage, it has a lower base damage, but it has a chain lightning effect that jumps to other nearby enemies. So it can be quite useful in confined spaces when enemies are clumped together. There's also a health option. This was a support type to heal allies with during combat. This is the Pyro. It shoots fire bullets and has a damage over time effect on enemies. It is quite devastating. And then you have the Juice, which obviously, according to the description, this will buff yourself or teammates, granting extra strength and speed. And this is just one gun. If you go down here, you can test the gun out in the game's firing range. And as you can see, the enemy is on fire. And he crawls around on the ground and burns to death. And of course you have a grenade, which blew them into 1,000 pieces. It's always nice. Anyway, you get the gist of this gun. There are many different types of guns. There's a rifle gun, a launcher gun, a pulse gun, and a beam gun. This is my pulse gun. I have essentially have it set up to be a shotgun type weapon with the scatter barrel and the shell loading for maximum damage. And again, just like with the previous gun, you can decide which ammo types you want to use. I stuck with the basic slug for this one. However, a different feature on the pulse gun is the ability to create different bullet dynamics. You can have standard, a bouncy effect, where it will bounce off of a surface, a corkscrew effect, where it will corkscrew through midair toward an opponent, skipping, where it will bounce multiple times off of a surface, and a slow pulse, pretty self-explanatory I would think, a slow-moving projectile. And again, you can test this and every gun you have in the firing range. Now obviously a gun like this is better close up than at a distance. That is the nature of the beast. You have unlimited ammo. All you have to do is reload. This applies to the actual matches as well. The only thing you have to replenish is your grenades. You can only carry 2 at a time. And over here is my rocket launcher, also having its own systems. I went with the laser guided system for this. You can also have a remote control system, allowing you to steer the warhead yourself. You have X-ray, optical zoom, long-range scopes. Yeah, we can have the different barrel types for this. You have the cage, balanced damage output. Then you have the tri-barrel, which allows you to fire more shots, but has a smaller damage radius upon impact. Then you have the tube, easier to reload, but again, reduced blast radius. And of course you have the quad barrel, a heavy barrel, a pentabarrel, and a hexabarrel. They all pretty self-explanatory. And of course up here, for every gun, is the stats of your weapon. in the upper left corner there. And of course for the rocket launcher you have basic rocket propulsion, agile propulsion, which is, well, that's pretty obvious. It allows it to maneuver through the air more efficiently. This is a lobbed. It is much like the mortar feature, except mortar provides better wind resistance than the lobbed, so you'll probably get more accuracy out of the mortar. And again, the corkscrew effect makes a return here. Super slow. Again, that's pretty obvious. You have a scuttle effect. It crawls along the ground over short distances. And now you have the turbo, very high velocity propulsion that accelerates as it travels. And of course, super scuttle, which is the same as the scuttle, except it accelerates rapidly as it travels. You also have different shell impacts. You have basic impact, you have bouncing, you have sticky, and rebounding. And of course, detonator types. You can have it detonate on contact. You can manually detonate it, detonate after a period of time, or based upon proximity. And then of course, different dispersal patterns: explosive, cluster, flak, quad cluster, and extra wide cluster. Rather extensive system. Each one of these systems can be upgraded with experience and bloots, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen. You can customize your loadouts. You can have 2 guns at a time per loadout, and 1 utility device. As you can see on this one, I have a shield. There are multiple equipments that you can have. Their hand grenade is the default one. They are very effective when used correctly. A shield, that's pretty obvious. A healing grenade, a buff grenade, Tesla grenade, fire grenade, jump boots, a disguise, a turret buddy. You know, spawn your own turret. You can drop a spawn point in health pickups. And then of course you can drop fake health and equipment pickups for the enemy to troll your enemies with. And then of course real equipment pickups for your teammates. Unless you want to troll your teammates as well, it's perfect up to you, I suppose. And then of course here in the loadout section is where you also pick which character you want. You have 3 to choose from. You have Axel here. You have a Mr. T looking guy here, T-Bone. And then you have the morbidly obese woman, Helga, which is quite amusing in itself, but moving on. Yeah, this is the outfitter. This is where you customize your characters. However, keep in mind that in order to customize the appearance of your characters, you need to purchase space bucks from their store. However, keep in mind this is purely cosmetics. They are not necessary for the game at all. There are quite a few options to go with here. As you can see, you can choose any manner of combinations. You even go with the assless chaps there, if you want. As I said, the game's humor is outrageous. And of course, all the way at the bottom here, the guy just free balls it. He doesn't really care. And of course, you have the tighty whities with the hairy nuts sticking out. Again, the choice is yours. Plenty of customization options. to choose from. The game does not hold back on its insanity. There, you can have beer belts, have beer equipped on your belts, you know, there. A bloody machete in the back. Yeah, plenty of things to go with here. And then you can pick different taunt types that you want. This is the only basic taunt available in the beginning. All the others you have to purchase yourself. Including Gangnam Style, all 3 versions. I have a golf clap, the headbanger. And you even have a teabag taunt, which you can use on the fallen foes if you so choose. So, yeah, you get the idea. And then, of course, Helga. She has her own special taunt here. So, yeah. At any rate, these all cost space bucks. And, as you can see here, the prices are, up to interpretation. What's expensive for some is not expensive for all. However, keep in mind, as you can tell by the prices, for even the most basic thing, you will be spending a substantial amount of money overall to customize the character the way you want it to. That's just the honest truth of it, in my personal opinion. This is your locker, where you have a summary of your statistics and your avatar that you can change here. All your statistics, your kill-death ratios. And of course you have the tech tree here. This is where you upgrade your different ammo and gun types. You can upgrade your stocks here. Unlock the stocks with your bloots. Now you get bloots from simply participating in the game and opening chests once prompted. This is how you upgrade them to level 1, 2, 3, and so on, as you can tell here. And each upgrade provides a bonus to its stats. They might implement more upgrades in the future, who knows? But for the time being, this is what's here. Each gun has its own tech tree. And of course, also in the store, you can purchase XP and loot bonuses with space bucks. You can also purchase more gun slots and loadout slots and avatars. Again, purely cosmetic things, except for these. You can unlock more of these the longer you play. And for those of you who don't want to wait, feel free. But none of these will affect the game overall, except maybe these, to be honest. But you know, it's a boost. It's a pretty common thing to sell in a cash shop. So that is my basic overview of Loadout. I hope you enjoyed the video. I might upload a video later featuring showing off gameplay. That really all depends if the quality of this audio is high enough to tolerate. Again, if you find the quality unsatisfactory, I deeply apologize. I hope you liked the video. or found it informative. If you feel like trying the game for yourself, please feel free. It is on Steam. I found it to be enjoyable, if a bit limiting. However, it is relatively new, so who knows where it will go. I'm the Revanchist. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the video. And have a pleasant day, or evening, depending on your time.